Is Mike Tomlin going to be the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers next year?
I think the answer is yes. I think, first of all, I don't think the Steelers get rid of him in the sense that I don't think they're going to ask him out. I don't think they're going to try to trade him, and I don't think that they are going to fire him. Remember, like 3 months ago, people were saying he should be coach of the year. They definitely have regressed to the end of the season. I also think that there have been other points in Tomlin's tenure where he's regressed, and then he's figured out how to turn it around. So really, the season's not so different than some of their recent ones. What's most different is that he had more success early in the season as opposed to later in the season when he would often claw his way back to not having a losing season. And we would all be like, the streak lives on. There's such a setup in Pittsburgh that works really well and better than most of the league. It might not win a Super Bowl already, although someone the other day was like, they're not winning a Super Bowl with him. I'm like, they did win a Super Bowl with him. So I think he's staying put.
When it comes to Tomlin, I always say this about the Steelers. Whoever you hire as your next head coach, if you want Tomlin out, that's great. Whoever you hire as your next head coach, there's like a 95% chance he's not going to be as good as Mike Tomlin. It's just the truth. I think he did a great job at the beginning of the year, at least, with a really, really bad situation at quarterback. When you take a look at the totality of everything, the Steelers, yeah, it didn't end pretty, but they went 10-7. So I think Tomlin, in the totality, did a good job. It's just recency bias. But I will say this, like, at somebody, it was a good friend of mine, shout out to Frankie. He said, maybe Mike Tomlin is Andy Reid. If we remember Philly Andy Reid, what was the whole deal? Like, Andy Reid was winning and winning and winning and winning, and he just got dumped on all the time because can't win the big one, can't win a Super Bowl. They kind of split. Andy Reid goes on and becomes a legend, right? First, no doubt, first ballot, don't even need to wait to 5 years, Hall of Famer in Kansas City. Philly got its Super Bowl II. Maybe that's the Steelers situation here, where you just kind of say, we've run its course. And yeah, maybe the next guy we get isn't going to be as good as Mike Tomlin, but we're just going to try something different to see if we can ignite something. Whereas Mike Tomlin goes on to the Cowboys or whoever, Raiders, or he'd get a job in 5 minutes if he wanted to. Like, Mike Tomlin's a future Hall of Famer, probably. That's what his resume says. And maybe he becomes Andy Reid, where he goes somewhere else and has great, great success and Super Bowls and reminds everybody, yes, this is really, truly an all-time great head coach.
Andy Reid in Kansas City, pre-Mahomes, was a lot like Andy Reid in Philadelphia, right? Like, it's amazing how things change when all of a sudden you get Mahomes. Like, not that Andy Reid was already a great coach, but he became a superstar coach when he had a